Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Prime Time Local News. Connor Chan and Abby St. John here. Lots of content on the go today, including later on with our Question of the Day segment coming up with the beautiful weather that we experienced this morning and we may experience in the next little bit here. Did you pack away winter gear?
Yes, all of mine are in a box because I'm moving beginning of June. So I just packed up all my winter stuff just to get that out of the way, and it's done. I'm not unpacking it, so I'm just gonna have to deal.
You're just gonna deal with it. You're
Yep.
not gonna change shoes,
Nope.
jackets.
Nope. Just deal with it. I'm fine.
All right. Well, we're ready to see what all of you had to say about the topic. But right now, we'll send it over to Eric Bay, who is on location.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we're down here at the Lloyd X for Try a Trade, which is an event that's been going on for about 10 years now for high school students to, well, try a trade, take part in a few different booths, some virtual reality as well, and learn a little bit about what they want to do possibly in the future. They have both sides. They have the trade side, as well as some also safety demonstrations going on. So we're going to have a little bit more on that coming up here in the next hour. So that we'll have all that more coming back from here. But first, we're going to send it back in the studio for your local news.
Thanks, Eric. Late Saturday evening, Vermilion RCMP responded to a report of a male being shot in the leg at a rural residence east of Vermilion. The 27-year-old male was found suffering from a gunshot wound with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The male was transported from scene to hospital, who was eventually transferred to Edmonton via Stars Air ambulance. No suspects were located as the RCMP does not believe this was a random act. The matter remains under investigation with no more further details at this time. The Lloydminster RCMP have located a Jeep that they believed was involved in a drive-by shooting on Monday. Police answered a call Monday evening about a black Jeep Wrangler that was following a truck and that a passenger in the Jeep had shot at the truck multiple times.
Our General Investigative Section, our GIS unit, has located a Jeep Wrangler believed to be involved in this incident, and we continue to investigate, and also along with our RCMP Forensic Identification Services unit. I do want to stress that no one was injured in this incident, and the investigation is ongoing.
RCMP believe that the shooting was not random and that it is not connected to any other recent events. Local police will be increasing patrols around the city.
Well, the events that have occurred over the last few days, they're not common in Lloydminster. So as a result, we've increased member patrols and as a result of what has occurred, and you'll definitely see us more out on the streets in regards to patrolling units. It's important that if anyone has information regarding the events that have occurred over the last few days, that they call us with information.
There are currently no suspects in the drive-by shooting at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call local police or Crime Stoppers. Throughout the week, 2 authors have been giving presentations to different schools across Cold Lake and Bonnyville, and our Jasmine King headed down to one of the schools to listen in on what they had to say.
As part of a book tour for Northeast Alberta, Natasha Dean and Susie Vidori have been speaking to students about literature and their paths to becoming a writer.
Part of the Synovus Word Power Tour in 2019, which is organized by the Young Alberta Book Society. And we're visiting elementary schools, junior highs, and high schools, and talking about writing and the love of reading and making sure that kids are able to connect with books. And I talk a lot as well about my journey as an author and the magic of following your dreams and all the different things that have led me to where I am today.
They want to teach students that anyone can write, and it shouldn't be intimidating, as every author had to start somewhere too.
I think sometimes for kids, it's such a freeing thing to meet an author because you make that direct connection, like there's actually somebody behind this book, there's somebody behind this story. And then when we are sharing our stories about, well, here's all the pages I had to delete, and here's all the times I had to start again, and here's all the ways it didn't work.
This is the first time the school has hosted the two, as what the authors are telling the kids can be a good way to get students motivated.
They're here to just to showcase their talent, but also to get our kids to get inspired to showcase their talents as well.
The presentations can differ between age groups, but they all end with the same message, as they hope it can influence each student.
I think the biggest sort of overreaching theme for all of them is just the message of that kindness matters, and that beyond that, their kindness matters, they matter in this world, and that anything you want to do, anything you want to be, you can do it and you can be it, and the world can't stop you.
The rest of their presentations take place at schools in Bonnyville. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
We are back here once again at the Lloyd X for Tri-Trade, where high school students from all around the area are trying out some different trades, maybe find out what they want to do. I'm joined now by Leighton Heinz of McClurg High School. And so can you maybe just tell me a little bit about what you've kind of done so far today?
Well, so far today I've done some welding on the VR headsets, checked out a couple engines and did a couple touring. It's really cool here.
And what's kind of been your favorite part so far about the day?
I have to say that welding, honestly, the VR welding, it's kind of real life, kind of not, but it's pretty neat.
And then that VR as well, it's a little bit more, I guess, hands-on, kind of getting a little bit more of that experience. Is that a little bit better, learning about all these things compared to, say, sitting in a classroom?
Pretty much, yeah. More hands-on. It gets you a better picture in your head on what's really happening. A classroom doesn't really tell you what's all involved, like the sweating and like the hard work and all that kind of stuff.
And how do you think events kind of like these help, I guess, you guys maybe picking your career in the future?
Well, it gives you more of an adverse look on things. Like I want to go into mechanics, but then when you look at other things, like, oh, welding seems neat too, or like the combines, the tractors, stuff like that.
And I know you obviously have a couple more years left, but is there, maybe after seeing this, are your options still open, or are you still kind of set on that mechanics?
Oh, you know what, I got more of a look on things, but kind of still set on the same thing, but it may change, who knows.
All right, perfect. Thanks again for joining us. We're going to have a little bit more coming back from here at the Lloyd X, just on Tri-Trade, and again, how it kind of affects the students and for the people also presenting. So we're going to have a little bit more on that, but first we're going to go back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Taking a look at your current temperature right now. Not snowing anymore. Of course, we all woke up this morning to some snow, and of course, in the afternoon, we saw that amount of snow that we are expecting. 2 degrees right now for us here in Lloydminster. Still getting some sunshine, though. The winds, though, are over at 10 kilometers an hour there, so it might feel a little bit cooler, maybe more closer to 0 degrees. 23 degrees was our warmest day back in 2016. -8 was our coldest back in 2002. As we take a look at the satellite radar map, we're still going to be expecting that cloud and some activity coming in over the next little bit here in that Edmonton and up north, up in Bonnyville and the Marwayne areas there. Take a look at some other current temperatures right now. 2 degrees also out in Cold Lake right now. 6 degrees for Edmonton, 3 for Edson and Whitecourt, 4 degrees in Jasper, 5 for Red Deer and Rocky Mountain House as well. 6 degrees for North Battleford, 9 for Saskatoon, 5 degrees out in Melfort, 3 degrees for Prince Albert, and -1 out in Meadow Lakes. If we take a look at a little more in-depth look to the regional temperatures overnight, North Battleford with some flurries, sitting at -3, warming up to 9 degrees tomorrow for the daytime high with some sun and cloud mix there. Cold Lake, -6 overnight with some cloud coverage there, getting to 9 degrees tomorrow. They're going to have a little bit more cloud than sun on their end there. -4 overnight for us here in Lloydminster, mostly cloudy, getting to 8 degrees tomorrow, where we should see some more sun and some clearer skies compared to what we had yesterday. As we take a look at the next 3 days, 6 degrees on Friday with a high and a low of -1 there. We're still getting some heavy winds, though, with over 30 kilometers an hour there, where it's a sun and cloud mix there. 7 degrees on Saturday, same results there. Low there, -4, as winds could reach up to 30 kilometers an hour there. No chance, a very low chance, though, of some precipitation there, but you never know what could happen in this time of year. That's a first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, I take a look at a pre-kindergarten program. Little Learners is a program at Father Gorman School to get kids ready for kindergarten.
Days a week, and it's for 4-year-olds that are looking to learn and get ready for kindergarten in the fall.
There's different activities that the kids take part in to teach them different subjects through hands-on learning. This also helps them hit the different learning targets that they have.
First of all, they're 4 years old, so sitting still, taking turns, they're learning to use their fine motor skills. They're learning to recognize numbers and letters as well as sounds already at this age. We're encouraging them to print their names, name recognition, so I do a wide variety throughout the year.
Not only does this program get kids ready for kindergarten educationally, they also help the kids become more confident and comfortable with others.
The thing I noticed the most about my daughter going into the program is her confidence level has grown since she's been taking the program. When I told her I was coming today, she told me that she did not need me to come and that her 2 teachers were fine with teaching her.
For this week's Beyond the Classroom, I'm Abby St. John.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College. Apply today to heavy oil power engineering or second-class power engineering programs at the Lloydminster campus. Lakeland College, leading learning since 1913.
Welcome back. Well, the price of land always leaves producers scratching their heads. Gerard Lampow gets the latest numbers from this year's Farmland Value Report.
Current realities always give a different spin, but over time, agriculture has always been a stable industry. That's the view of Rob McDonald as he looks at the numbers for the 2018 Farm Credit Canada Farmland Value Report. The Lloydminster area comes in at 6%, which is around the national average.
The Lloydminster area was somewhere in between, so you're right, Gerard. I think around 6% is a fair number for the area. It's still a strong number in my mind, especially due to the adversities that we've felt with the weather the last year or two.
Every year, FCC looks at their benchmarks across the country and revalues land based on the sales.
There's a really nice thin black soil that runs through Lloydminster that's a number 1, black Chernozemic, and some of that good quality soil, you're seeing numbers well above the $3,000 an acre range. We do post for our customers, there's an online version which gives you the range.
McDonald puts that range at about $1,900 to $2,000 per acre. Factors affecting ag include soft commodity prices and rising input costs. In Alberta, the farmland value is about 7%, while Saskatchewan has moved down 3%, bringing it closer to the national average.
In the economies that I was experienced, whether it's Alberta or parts of Saskatchewan, where we did see, I would say, some rush at the start of the year of 2018, where you see sales coming into the spring, and then it got dry, and then we noticed things tapered off a little bit.
The challenges of a weather-affected harvest also mean less focus on buying land as farmers deal with getting the crop in.
Like in the Lloydminster, Vermilion, all the way to Vegreville and up to Bonnyville, we had seen in previous years where we didn't get the crop off in time, and the snow came and stayed, and we had that in northern Alberta all the way up into the Peace as well. So then we're harvesting in the spring.
Overall, FCC feels that the long-term outlook for Canadian agriculture remains positive. McDonald has ag roots in the Provost area, and even though spring is still loading across the country, he is optimistic for 2019.
It's moisture though, so we'll take it, and I wish everybody good luck out in the field here this year.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
Coming up tonight on Ag Life, financial incentives for beef producers as VBP Plus continues to pay dividends, and Farm Blues. We find out what's on producers' minds ahead of seeding season, plus a major in equine science is just one of the new courses at Lakeland College. As well, what is stand establishment? Those stories are on the menu tonight at 7:30 on Ag Life. We'll see you then.
That's all for Egg. Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
After several seasons in Vermilion, the senior lacrosse Rage team has moved east for 2019. Josh Ryan has more on how the group hopes that coming to Lloydminster will increase participation and attendance.
Heading into the first week of the Senior C lacrosse season, players on the Border Rage are particularly excited for a new campaign's debut.
Yeah, it's different. It'd be a nice change of pace for sure. Hopefully get some attendees.
Despite some strong seasons, the Rage struggled to generate more of a following in Vermilion. Now, the move to a central hub with a larger population is meant to kickstart that new following.
We've gathered guys from all around surrounding area that want to blow off some steam to come play, and we've made it pretty cheap, pretty affordable, but it's going to be a lot of fun with the roster that we got and with the teams that we're going to be playing this year.
Revamping the team has been a process, but there's already growth.
We started from scratch pretty much again, so off the hop there was always a little bit of worry, but throughout the year guys have gotten more interest, and we've been building our team.
Despite taking in several new faces, there's lots of continuity still on the roster.
A lot of the guys that are in this room I've played with for a long time, and I know what we're capable of, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a good year. Fun, to say the least.
That bodes well for the season opener this weekend, as well as the home opener on May 11th.
Be nice just to see who turns out and how well we play at home.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
For Holy Rosary's badminton zone silver medalists, it's a short turnaround before they head south to Calgary for provincials. The double Dominics Madla Awa and Villiasor are encouraged by the way they played in the semifinal at zones, winning in straight sets.
We usually go to 3 sets in under pressure games, but we managed to pull through, and then we got through it and we advanced to provincials, which is amazing.
Logan Freimark, the lone singles player, is looking forward to the quality competition after improvement this season.
I went to Edmonton 2 times and practiced with them and just learned a lot from them.
The provincial championship gets underway Friday afternoon. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Well, today we're down here at the Lloyd X for Try-A-Trade, where a bunch of high school students get to try out some trades, as the name implies, and I'm joined now by Dale Howland, who is on the committee. And so can you maybe just explain a little bit about how Try-A-Trade came to be and what exactly it is?
Well, many years ago, this is now our 10th Try-A-Trade. A few of us got together, the people from the Lloydminster Construction Association, people from Alberta Employment and Saskatchewan Employment, and some of our counselors, career counselors from local schools. We got together and says, what can we do to give the students an opportunity to try future careers? And so thus the Try-A-Trade was born, and the goal here is for allowing our young people from Lloydminster and surrounding areas to come in and try different trades and talk to people that are currently working in this trades, talk to people in the educational field, such as Lakeland College, and to have that opportunity to experience firsthand and gives them options for the future.
And how does the opportunity to do these things, kind of try it out, how does that give them a little bit of help in maybe deciding what their future is?
Yes, it does. Take for a fine example, we have some opportunities for them to try some plumbing activities or carpentry activities, and they go home and maybe have an opportunity to help around the house or show with their parents, and as they take classes at school in construction or welding, they give them an opportunity to expand their future and might want to decide to make that as their career as they get older.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to have a little bit more coming from back here, but first we're going to go back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Taking a look at some other current temperatures right now. 2 degrees for us here in Lloydminster, 3 degrees out in Marwayne, 2 for Cold Lake and Pierceland, 1 degree out in Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, St. Paul, 6 degrees out in Vegreville and Edmonton, 3 degrees for Wainwright, 5 for Vermilion, 8 degrees down in Provost, 9 for Macklin, 6 for North Battleford, 4 for Maidstone. A little bit cooler out in St. Walburg at -2, -1 for Meadow Lake, 1 degree out in Green Lake and Isle of Cross as well. Some other temperatures in Alberta, Slave Lake sitting at 1 degree, Grand Prairie and Peace River both sitting at 4, High Level also sitting at 1 degree, -2 for Fort Chipeway and -1 in Fort McMurray. Over in the other Saskatchewan parts here, 1 degree in La Loche, 1 degree also out in Buffalo Narrows, 0 degrees out in Lawrence, 2 degrees in Flin Flon, -3 for South End and Stony Rapids, -2 in Uranium City and Wollaston Lake. Out in southern Saskatchewan, 8 degrees for Kindersley, 9 degrees in Swift Current and Moose Jaw, 10 degrees for Regina and Estevan, and 9 also out in Yorkton. Over in southern Alberta, 9 degrees in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, 7 degrees in Calgary and Coronation, 5 degrees for Banff. As we take a look at some temperatures for tomorrow, mostly 8 to 10 degrees across our region here. So 8 degrees for us here tomorrow is our daytime high, as well as in Maidstone, Wainwright, and Provost. St. Paul sitting at 8 degrees, 8 degrees also in Lac La Biche, 8 for Edmonton as well, 9 degrees up in Cold Lake, Pierceland, and Bonnyville, 9 degrees for Macklin and North Battleford, 8 for Meadow Lake, 9 for Green Lake, and 8 degrees in Isle of Cross. Now, of course, we did wake up to some snow on the ground, and of course, earlier this afternoon, we did see some of that snowfall continue as we saw some continuation, very consistent snowfalls. We take a look at the next 24 hours. We may not be out of the woods quite yet, as we do miss some of the darker regions there, as you kind of see where that dark blue circle is just kind of below the dot there that represents Lloydminster, because that's more in the close to the double-digit range there. So we could see, if anything, kind of similar to what we had today, maybe getting up to that 2-centimeter mark there. But of course, as we see up in northern Saskatchewan there, it's going to be closer to that 30 centimeter rather mark, as we have seen over the last little bit here. So school day forecast for tomorrow, 8 a.m. starting at -1 degree, so still getting kind of colder into the mornings here. 3 degrees at recess time, 6 degrees at lunchtime, where we'll see more sun come out there, and home time sitting at 7 degrees, where we'll reach closer to the daytime high there with some sun and cloud mix there. Heading into the 7-day forecast, 6 degrees Friday with a high of 6, but still some winds reaching over 30 kilometers an hour, so it could feel a little bit colder. 7 degrees on Saturday with a sun and cloud mix there. 6 degrees for Sunday with mostly cloud coverage there. 9 degrees on Monday, 13 for Tuesday, and 14 degrees for Wednesday as we start to warm back up in the morning, and a 57% chance we could see some rain. That's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
We're back here now again at the Lloyd X for Tri-Trade, and I'm joined now by Blaine Steffen of Guardian Plumbing and Heating. And you guys have a pretty big booth set up here today. What do you guys kind of have going on for the kids?
We always try to bring in some of the different aspects of our trade that we think will interest them. So fire is one, so we usually have our soldering booth set up, as well as we have some ABS and stuff where they can glue and they can actually measure and cut the pipe and just experience the tools. We also, back there, I've got Isaac working on our inspection camera, so the kids get to see the pipes that are actually underneath this building that are in operation. Then we locate them, and it gives them a chance to see the technology side of our industry, as well as get their hands on the tools and the equipment and actual the pipe and the fittings. So they get to really get dirty.
And do you think that more kind of hands-on experience is a little bit more attractive to the kids when they are coming out here and trying different things?
Oh, for sure. I think that when you actually have a chance to put your hands on it and see it, it takes a lot of the fear away, and maybe it actually brings a little more light to the industry. A lot of kids just didn't even know, what a plumber does. Where you can show them some of that and like I said, take away the fear aspect of I could never do that, I don't have a clue, and to be able to handle a torch and solder, which even a lot of parents maybe don't know how to do that and have never tried. So it gives them a little bit of confidence to give it a shot, and maybe in the future not be afraid to go and get a job in that industry.
And then just real quick here, I know this day is more for the kids, but do you find being able to come out and meet with the kids and have them try out your stuff, is that kind of beneficial to you guys as well?
Yeah, you know what, anytime that you can bring the level of your trade up in the knowledge of people and help them to just, see it in a different light is beneficial for all of us. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We're going to have a little bit more coming back from here at Tri-Trade, but first we're going to go back into the studio.
Well, I don't know about you, but I wasn't a fan of what I saw this afternoon, and I felt bad for when one of our cameramen had to go out and get some viz. I was just like, oh dear, that's not fun.
The snow is definitely coming down really hard. As soon as this morning I woke up and I saw the snow, and the wind too was blowing the snow everywhere. It was not fun.
Did you notice how it had very little time to stay on the ground, maybe an
yeah,
hour
it
later?
Definitely
it left.
melted right away. Yeah, it definitely did not stick, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's also very messy.
It was. Some of the roads look like kind of what we saw maybe in the beginning of winter with that slush. So that inspired our question of the day with this beautiful weather that we had this afternoon. And further down the road, did you put away your winter gear? So some of the comments pretty much are all in favor of no, we didn't. But I just want to read a few of the comments. Only the shovel came back out today because, you know, getting on some driveways there. Never take it away until May.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Another one, just a funny story here. This one wrote, put away, but I put my winter gear away, but I had to dig it out of storage for my daughters.
Oh,
this
yeah,
morning.
can be a little bit frustrating because you've spent time putting it away in boxes and getting it in storage to just take it out again. It's a hassle.
Yeah, and then there's some parents that have, you know, they put the bulk of it away, but they keep, you know, little pieces out in case for incidences like this, because we do know that we do get snow in May and maybe later on at some point, who knows? It's hard to say what's going to happen with all that pressure and all that coming on.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the way it goes, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing we do enjoy talking about is pets, and as we take a look at our pet of the day segments, rather. So this is Bear.
That's an
start
adorable
things off.
dog.
Very adorable.
Love the name too.
I know, very
Suits
cute.
it.
This is Milo.
Oh, it's so cute.
Wrapped around the
I love that
armrest there.
seat.
Very cute. This is Duke and Sadie. They're looking for something in the barn.
The scavengers. I love it.
They're cute.
Yeah.
Last but not, next we have Jax, submitted there by Danny.
Just adorable. I want to know how these pet owners get their pets to pose in certain ways.
Maybe there's a treat.
I need some help on that.
Maybe there's some
aspect.
treats behind.
Yeah,
and then this
maybe.
is Mayo, who's playing with all her
adorable.
toys.
Love
Very
it.
adorable. Well, if your pet was shown on today, you're automatically entered to win a Lloydminster Pet Pad gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Today I'm joined here with Sharon Reed from Lloydminster Healing Connections. She is a Reiki master among other things, and today we are going to be talking just a little bit about what she does and about the Healing Connections Expo that is coming up. So tell me just a little bit about what you do and what a Reiki master is.
A Reiki master is a person that uses their own energy to stimulate someone else's energy for their healing.
And where does this sort of healing come from? Like, where does it originate from?
It is a Japanese medical tool, I guess we'll call it. It's been around for many, many, many years. And it came to Canada, and it's gone crazy because it works so well, and it's relatively easy to do, and it's easy to learn how to do it.
And and how does it work? Like, what sort of things do you do to, I guess, help heal the patient?
It generally balances the energy, because when you have something that's not balanced, it's going to make you sick. So we use our energy and universal energy to balance your energy, and that usually will fix whatever is bothering you.
And so when you see a patient, what sort of things do you do to, I guess, balance out their energy?
You have to first find where it's out. And you do that just by feeling, not necessarily right on the body, but you can feel in their actual energy field.
Okay. And can you explain to me just a little bit about the expo that is coming up on May 4th?
I certainly can. The expo got started in 2017 when I realized that there are so many people that don't know what their options are for their own health care. Like, they can go to the doctor, but sometimes that doesn't work so good. Or sometimes they just don't feel good about it. Reiki, for one thing, calms you down. So if you're calm, then you can think better, right?
Yes.
So I came to realize that like there's so many people that don't understand that there's other ways of fixing yourself if you're not feeling well. So I started doing the expo to get that awareness out there. This is what's available. These are your options. Go try them. See what works for you. Because what works for me might not work for you. So you just go from there and experiment and enjoy the ride, because there's so many things out there that really do make you feel good.
So what can people expect when if they decide to come to the expo? What can they expect to see or do there?
We have got a very awesome lineup of vendors coming that do all kinds of different things, which is the goal, right? Yeah. Here's all your options. Pick the one that you're drawn to. Pick the one that you think will work for you. So I've got all kinds of vendors coming that do different things. I have people coming that have other tools like healing crystals and breathing exercises, hypnosis. I got feng shui, which is the way you arrange things in your home and in your life to make the energy flow better, to make you feel better. Okay, so we have someone coming doing that. I have our RN coming that does reflexology. So she teaches you the points in your feet that are going to make you feel better. Different sleep patterns. There's a lot of people don't sleep well at night. So there's training for that too, and pointers, tips. Don't drink coffee before you go to bed. Mediumship. I have more than one psychic medium coming. So again, that's another option you can explore. And sometimes you find some really interesting things from them. Keto diet plans. We're going to cover that there. We have indigenous medicines, traditional medicines, herbal medicines, essential oils. Now I'm stuck. We even have socks that fix your energy.
Wow.
So there's an awful lot of options.
Sounds like it's going to be a pretty good event. And just quickly before we wrap up, how can people acquire tickets?
You can get tickets at the door. There are some vendors that are selling them, advance tickets. You can call the Healing Connections phone number and order them, or go on the website or the Facebook page.
Great, well, perfect. Thank you for coming in and explaining to people who may not know what this is. I'm sure it's going to be a great event, and it is happening May 4th and 6th, and you can get your tickets through their website or by calling or through different vendors. So thank you so much for coming in.
4th and 5th, dear.
4th and 5th.
Yes.
May 4th and 5th. Sorry.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yes. Thank you for coming in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Justin Marshall from Cool 101.3 with a look at what's happening around the Bonnyville and Cold Lake area for Boom 95.3 and Cool 101.3. Well, today we had Hats On for Mental Health, and all the schools around Northern Lights Public Schools took part. Caught up with Communications Officer Nicole Garner, who kind of put this on. Why don't you grab the hat and let's show everybody that we're wearing today.
Hats On for Mental Health Day, Northern Lights hats that we were encouraging students to wear today, or they could wear any hat they wanted. This is an initiative that's been going on for quite a few years, and we have had it in our school before where we relax our hat rules and let students wear hats. This is probably the one day some of them are allowed to, and in support of mental health awareness.
Why was this important to get this out here?
So for the last 4 years, we've had health and wellness as a division priority. So it's definitely part of raising awareness of the mental health aspect involved with that. But also over the last few months, as we've been doing our community engagement sessions and getting input into what our new division priorities should be in our 3-year plan. Mental health clearly came out as a trend that people want to see addressed, want to see us do more of, and set as a priority. And the board just recently decided that would be one of its 2 priorities moving forward.
Well, if you'd like to see lots of pictures of kids with hats, including the NLPS one for Hats On for Mental Health Day, check out our Facebook page. And if you have an event you would like to feature on what's happening, email jmarshall@stingray.com.